We went down having 23 present to the first test. Going down to having 12, 14, or what have you. Um, I'm gonna just lock the door on us.
You should lock it.
I did.
Oh, nice.
I'll let them in though, but
I just did. That would be nice.
that would not be nice. We'll get started in a minute. We'll give those folks a couple of minutes. Well, there's Kendrick. We'll let him in. Come in, Kendrick.
Lock it as happening.
We'll start locking you out. You're not on time. Couple of minutes is not too bad. It's in a mattress, I know there's 4 of them around. How many of you have a dog? All right. I think you are mature enough to hear this story about a dog, except Kendrick. I don't know if he's mature enough or not. So, anyway, this is a dog. And, okay, this story's been around a long time, but don't be dirty-minded in the little story. It's okay. Anyway, everybody who has a dog calls him Rover or Boy or something like that. I call mine Sex. Okay? Now, Sex has been very embarrassing to me. When I went to get his license, I told the clerk I would like to have a license for Sex. He said, I'd like to have one too. All right? Then I said, but this is a dog. He said he didn't care what she looked like. Then I said, you don't understand. I've had sex since I was 9 years old. He said, you must have been quite a kid. When I got married and went on my honeymoon, I took the dog with me. I told the hotel clerk that I wanted a room for my wife and me and a special room for Sex. He said that every room in the place was whatever you wanted to be. Okay, you don't understand. Sex keeps me awake at night. The clerk said, me too. One day I entered Sex in a contest, but before the contest started, the dog ran away. All right? One contestant asked me why I was just standing there looking around. I told him I had planned to have Sex enter in the contest. He told me that I should have sold tickets. But you don't understand. I had hoped to have Sex on television. He called me a show-off. When my wife and I separated, we went to court to file custody for the dog. I said, Your Honor, I have had sex before I got married. The judge said, me too. Then I told him that after I was married, Sex had left me. He said, me too. Last night, Sex ran off again. I spent hours looking around town for her. A cop came over to me and asked, what are you doing in the alley at 4 in the morning? I told the cop I was looking for Sex. My court case comes up next Friday. Anyway, what you name your dog? Okay, before I take roll, I'm on a committee to find a professor for entrepreneurship. And anyway, we've got about 20 applications, and they range from attorneys to engineers to one professor. For this one application, I got to read the paragraph 2. This guy is a professor at Connecticut State University. And he's taught for University of North Carolina down in Wimbledon and a couple other places. But here is the most honest paragraph I've ever seen in a resume or a letter or anything. This guy said, yeah.
I brought him some birthday goodies for him.
Oh, you did? Well,
yeah. See, I know they'll want some of these.
Well,
did you tell them about your birthday?
No.
It's your birthday?
It will be Sunday, and Mr. Humble got me a cake. He put the right number on it, 500.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
And,
Anyway,
and a great extra credit opportunity that Mr. Lester is gonna provide for you.
yeah,
I mean, meet the millennials tonight, 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, Clover Room. You know where the Clover Room is down Bluefield? Yeah? No? You know where the rail yard's at? On top of the rail yard. You work it out with Mr. Lester about it, but please show up. Last year, Bluefield College cleaned our clock.
at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. It says 4 to 6. I don't think you'll be there the whole 2 hours. You'll get to meet some business people in the area, so you'll get to make some contacts. It'll be kind of a round table. They'll take you around, talk to you about different things having to do with entrepreneurship and so forth. I think it'd be a wonderful opportunity.
That'd be great, folks. I will give you some credit on a test if you go.
There you go.
All right?
Be there, please. Please. The dean asks you, please.
Yeah.
And I'm giving you a cupcake too.
Okay. If you want a cupcake, get one when you leave. All right? I will please have one. Margaret already ate a donut. Anyway, one of the most honest paragraphs I've ever read. So anyhow, this guy says, why do I want to leave my present job? He said, to me, work is like a marriage, a job marriage. There must be mutual benefit, trust, integrity, commitment, respect, appreciation, support, and reciprocity. When a job marriage is no longer a happy union, doesn't matter who's at fault or both, staying on is psychological, emotional, physiological, unhealthy, and all parties lose, myself, the students, and the university. Now that's an honest paragraph. So his marriage is not working with his present job. I mean, his job marriage. Hadn't thought of it that way. But anyhow, Mr. Almo gets married to a job. When he takes a job, okay, let me see who's here. Amber, of course, is live streaming. Robert's not here. Both Alexanders are here. Evan is here. Arthur, I thought was here. I've seen him, but
They're eating donuts.
he didn't know that. All three guys. That'd be Arthur, and that'd be Carlos. All right. Arthur will be here. Margot's here. Robert Harris is not here. Both Brown. Dylan is here. Both. And Miss Belcher, she pronounced her name Malika. What?
Like pizza. So pizza, Melissa. Try.
Melissa?
Yeah.
That don't sound like this. All right, Kendrick is here. Taylor, not here today. Justin's here. Kelly's here. Morgan's here. Eva's here. Person that's been here before. They don't know. Baseball thing, I think they are.
I mean, we were supposed to go this weekend, but it got canceled.
Right. Are you on the baseball team? That's why these guys say that we have person, Kenley, you, and another.
And Brugos. Right there, yeah.
Robert?
No, Alex, right there. Brugos.
Oh, okay, I was saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it got canceled.
At least you are honest. Okay. Garvey, say he'll be here. You guys made it?
For you or
They go down from one to one into the class. Kenley not here. All right, Jacob not here. Yes, sir. Chris not here. How about Franco? Y'all seen Franco? Ladies, y'all seen Franco?
Take the bus.
What? Okay. All right. Okay, so much for all these, little odds and ends, this morning. Uh, of course, Margot and Millie and probably a couple others skipped class Tuesday to study for business law. And, I have predicted those who didn't skip class will do better on that business law test than you all did. It was easy, was it, Margot?
So easy.
Just skip class, I know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I've always called that robbing Peter to pay Paul. You rob one class to do something for another class. Give each class their due. All right. Okay, let's get started with corporations again. I want to try to even start chapter 14 a little bit today. Now, what? Okay. You want one then? You have something here to drink with?
Yeah.
All right, you cannot resist the cupcake. Right?
Maybe a little bit.
Already want it in, guys? Yeah. Chocolate's going fast.
I know.
Say?
I'll actually say vanilla.
Okay, William. There's one chocolate and 3 bananas, whatever they
What do you
are.
want to get?
Oh, they got a cake or two down the hall.
Oh, gotcha.
All right, you all will do anything to get us off of accounting, so let's get back
That's
on
right.
accounting.
I mean, just kidding.
Chapter 13 is corporation and stock. Chapter 14 is still corporation, but bonds. Bonds are tough. Stock, somebody is tough. Now, Kelly had a problem with Cengage. You remember what the problem with Cengage is, Kelly?
Like declaring the stock dividend and like problem 4A.
Like problem 4A.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at 4A, and maybe that'll help you with Cengage. It could be identical. Some of these problems could be identical.
It's like it, but if I do it like I did 4A, it tells me I'm wrong.
Well, let's look at the solution to 4A and see who's wrong. These authors sometimes all right, you had problems 1, 2, 3, and 4A, but we're going to hit 4A first to make sure we get 4A because we had a request for that. Is it the same numbers, Kelly, as 4A?
No, it's just like it. 'Cause I was going by what I did on 4A, but everything I did for it changed on me.
All right, we will do it the way it should be done and Cengage. If it don't work when you put in the right answer in Cengage, let me know and I'll still give you credit for it. So looking at problem 4A on page 666. Does 666 ring a bell with anybody? It does, Alexandra, Morgan. Have you ever heard of 666? Millie, have you heard of,
I heard
And-
the questions first on that page.
have you heard of anything about 666? Okay.
Did you get a prize?
Yeah, that's why we get it wrong.
That's why it's not working.
That's probably why it's not working. All right. Anyway, 4A, interest for selected corporate transactions. You've got some items here. The following selected transaction occurred during the year. Paid cash dividends of 8 cents per share on the common stock. All right, now if you look up there at common stock, it says 500,000 shares were authorized and 375 were issued. Now, you go down and look at treasury stock, Kelly, 25,000 shares at cost. You subtract that 25,000 shares from 375 to give you 350. Right? All right, now you got 350, multiply that by 8 cents, and what do you get? What is 8 cents times 350,000? All right, the dividend had been properly recorded when declared on December 1 of the preceding fiscal year for 28,000. So 8 cents times 250, that does work out to 28,000, which they gave you 28,000 anyhow. All right, so we paid it. So when you pay a dividend, you just debit what? And credit what? All right, I guess we're doing these possibly T accounts too, but anyway, debit cash, dividends payable, and credit cash. Do not pay a dividend on treasury stock is the key to that one entry. Okay, number 2, issued 75,000 shares of common stock for $24 a share. Well, what's the par value of common stock? $20 par, right? So we're going to have some paid in capital. So Alexander, what is that entry?
Your debit cash for 1,800,000, credit common stock for 1,500,000, and then credit paid in capital in excess of stated value for 300,000.
300. All right, now how many shares of stock do we have outstanding? We had 350, right? Now we're gonna sell 75 more. So now how many do we have? 350 plus 75 is how much? 425. So keep that number in mind. 425 stock issued and outstanding. 450,000 issued, but only 425 outstanding. Okay, we sold all the treasury stock for $26 a share. Now, if we sold it back, it's going to be outstanding. So that's going to make us 450,000 shares. Jessica, what is that entry?
I got debit cash for 650,000. Treasury stock credit for 450,000, and paid in capital in excess for 200.
All right, we know we sold it for $18 a share. I mean, 26. But you got to look at what they gave us, treasury stock, and we had paid $18 for it. So if we paid $18 for it, and we're getting 26 out of it, we've got an $8 gain. So $8 times 25,000 is 200,000. Okay, now we declared a 4% dividend on common stock to be capitalized at the market price of the stock, which is $25. Okay, now remember we had 375 and we subtracted 25, left what? 3 what? All right, and then we sold 75, made how many? And then we sold the other 25 treasury stock. Now we got how many outstanding? 450. All right, now take 4% of 450,000 shares. Is that 18,000 shares? All right, now multiply that 18,000 shares times $25 per share and multiply it times $20 per share. All right, Kelly, give me that entry then that you have.
Stock dividends for 450,000, credit stock dividends distributed, I can't say that word.
Distributable.
Yeah, 360,000, and then paid in capital for 9.
All right. Now, is that just like the one you have on Cengage?
Yeah, I think this is December 28th on, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, let's see what happens here then. Of course, here we just, this is like a liability, but it's on your equity statement, but we have to issue that as quick as we can. We declared it in August, July, and we gave the common stock out in August. A lot of companies, there's a little bank in the area within 50 miles from here. They started out selling their stock for $20 a share when they started the bank. And pretty soon it went up to 40. And pretty soon it split 2 for 1. And it's still worth 40. So your share of stock was worth 80. But anyway, that stock went up to about $200 a share and it split. And now you had 2 shares instead of 1. So you were worth a $20 investment was worth $400. So that's what stock can do. But if you ever invest in stock, don't invest in stock unless you have that money to lose. If you got extra money to invest, you can make money, okay? And the way the stock markets went up, it could make real good. Like I say, I've won on some and I've lost on some. I invested in 1-800-Flowers, and I still have some stock in 1-800-Flowers. Now that I may keep it after Easter, it may go up a little bit Easter. I feel like selling it because it hasn't done a whole lot. Stayed about the same. But the Disney stock I was telling you all about, it went way up. So, all right. The next entry then, we issued the certificate, then we purchased 30,000 shares of treasury stock. Okay, William, when we buy our own stock, we just debit what? Just,
Treasury.
yeah, and credit cash for the difference. Okay, now maybe we're leading up to the one. Kelly, is this getting up to the one? We declared a 10-cent per share dividend on common stock. A 10 cents per share. All right, then we closed the 2 dividend accounts. Now, how many shares of stock do we have? That's what you got to keep up with. How many do we have? We stopped somewhere at 450, didn't we? Now, how many did we issue right here? All right, 450 plus 18's how much? That's probably where you're getting lost at on Cengage. All right, 450 plus 18 makes 468. Now multiply that times 10 cents.
46,000.
46,000.
Can we do the one that's on Simpy?
Oh, wait a minute, Kelly. I missed one thing. We got up to 400 and how many thousand? But William just gave me an entry for buying some treasury stock. How many shares of stock do we buy for treasury stock? How many shares, William?
30,000.
Subtract that 30,000 from 468. What does that leave you? That leave you 438. Now multiply that by 10 cents.
43.
All right, now that makes a little more sense then. All you gotta do is keep track of your stock, okay? Now Kelly, is that something like Cengage that you're missing because of shares of stock?
Yeah, but like, I tried everything I do.
Yeah, that's the way I went through it and it was counting wrong on me.
I have the problem.
That's why I was wondering, do you have the exact problem?
Yeah, I can pull it up on there. I can log into Simpy.
You do what now?
I can log into my Simpy on my computer.
Won't you do that? Okay, so we're gonna bring this problem up and look at it, see what the problem is. Okay, first off, let me minimize everything.
Okay, yeah, 'cause you have like 5 tabs.
Yeah, because if I don't minimize it, I may lose it. All right, we'll just start from here. I'll let you just go up there and log in. We're gonna look at almost an identical problem like this on Cengage, that Kelly has tried a bunch of different answers and they won't accept them as being correct. That is. I can bring these problems up on mine too. Franco, did you miss the bus this morning? Yeah. You're gonna have to get a better alarm clock. Is it slow, Kelly?
I don't know.
Closing a previous session.
Do you know what that means?
Yeah, where you were logged in.
You were
on your
logged in
computer,
before?
It's closing.
It's trying to close your previous session. All right, now you're okay. Was it problem 35?
Yeah. And it's
Just go down to the problem itself. Go straight up to the problem. That's all I want right there.
There you
Okay. All right, now folks, let's look at this problem. All of you have it on Cengage, okay? And let's see what's wrong here. Interest for selecting corporate transaction. You have some similar information that we just looked at a problem. Now, paid cash dividend of 15 cents a share on common stock. The dividend had properly been recorded when declared on, here all we gotta do is debit, dividends payable credit cash, don't we? All right, the 72.9, you should be able to calculate how many shares of common stock do you have? You have 540,000 shares issued minus 54 leaves how many? 540 minus 54 leaves how many? Some of you have a calculator.
486,000.
$486,000.
Now multiply that times decimal 15.
72,900.
That I had that work for you. I just wanted to show you where they got it. All right, we issued 105,000 shares of common stock. Now, that should be an easy entry. How about that one, Kenny?
So,
With debit what? Don't worry about the amounts. What we're going to debit when we sell common stock?
common stock.
No, we'll debit cash. All right? And we'll credit common stock, but we credit common stock, what is $10? What is $10 times 105,000? Is that 10,500? What is it? 1,050,000.
1,050,000. So we,
All right, so we got some paid in capital here, okay? Now, we sold all the treasury stock. Now, this treasury stock of 54,000 is going to go back to issued and outstanding. So we're going to debit cash for 980, and we're going to credit treasury stock for 756, and the difference is paid in capital. All right, now, I'm getting down to July the 5th here, okay? I don't know if my pen will, it will not mark on this. Okay. Everybody take a minute and multiply 4% by something and give me a number. How many shares am I going to give as a stock dividend? Multiply 4% by something and give me a number. what did you multiply the 4% by? How many shares? Anybody? David?
It'll be 145,000.
145,000 shares?
I saw
All right. You had 540,000 shares to start with. We subtract out this 54, so we can turn right back around and add it back. All right, because we sold it. Now, so we got 540,000 and we issued how many? 105, so that makes 600 and what? 645. Now multiply that 645 times 4%. 25 even? 25,800. Now multiply that 25,800 by 18 and by 10.
464,400.
All right, now, Kelly, I want to try to find this July the 5th. Did you put an entry in for July the 5th? This is what you put in right here, right? Okay, is that what you just now calculated? Okay, so stock, dividends, distributable, and then the rest is paid in capital. But you got it correct here, so forth. Now, then we debit stock, dividend, distributable on August the 15th and credit common stock, right? So no problem up to there. But now, where is Kelly missing this? Where's your X's at?
There's no excess.
All right, and here what you do, sell, buy treasury stock. How many shares did you buy here? On November 23rd, how many did you buy? All right, let's go back up here. Go right here. Everybody jot down this number. Tell me how many shares of stock that we have that we gave a dividend on? How many shares of stock do we have that we paid this dividend on?
600.
All right, we have 645,000 shares of stock. But now what did we do on November the 23rd? What? No, we didn't. What did we do? All right, subtract 34,000. Subtract 34,000 from, I think, 611. All right. Now, what are we going to do next? Let's see what you have blank here. So this is your problem right here. Okay. Take the number of shares we just calculated and multiply that by how much? 18 cents. That is 18 cents a share.
109,900.
You tried that number before? How about the time it in your program? All right, this little problem, we're taking too long on it, just stating
Yeah,
that,
that's wrong.
what?
It's wrong.
All right, somebody else write down those shares of stock. How many shares of stock did we give a dividend on here? Was it 645? Somebody got that written down?
It's on my calculator.
All right, subtract 34 from 645. That leaves you how many?
611.
Now multiply that by 18 cents.
109,980.
How much?
That's the same thing we got.
That is your answer. Has to be. I'm gonna take it. Huh. But you did nothing else in between there. 10% per share dividend on common stock. You got this correct, right?
Yeah.
All right, just leave that in there. If it takes off for it, I'll give you credit for it, okay?
Okay, but you need that for like fees and to finish the problem.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I can't finish the problem without.
Mhm. Hey, Kelly, just hold off and don't finish that till Tuesday, and I'll get into my program and see what's wrong.
Okay.
I'll give you the answer they accepted or something, okay? So just hold off on it. All right, now you had problems 1 and 2, so briefly, we're just gonna look at 1. Now, you know you're gonna have this on your next test. Well, Kelly, we tried, we went through the right procedure, and, these book companies sometimes make mistakes. I'll have to look at it to see what's going on. I'm just going to show you the answer to 1. I hope you have worked that. We'll speed up a little bit. All right, there's the answer to 1. That is giving out a stock dividend. And we gave preferred, and we gave common, and total, and of course, you're calculating per share. Does anybody have a question on number 1? We practice that a lot in class, same way. See if you have a question. All right, so let's go to number 2. We got 2 and 3 to cover real quick. Number 2 is just stock transactions, as I've been warning you about. We're going to issue stock, we're going to issue preferred stock, and we're going to borrow money on a note. That's problem 2A. You've got 3 entries there, and that's it on 2A. You issue common stock for building and land, and you take the par value of stock at 35, and the difference then is 500,000. It was worth $39 a share. The difference is 4. 4 times 125 is 500. And then we issue preferred stock for cash, paid in capital, and then we borrowed money on a mortgage. So 2 was quite easy. All right, now 3, we're issuing stock and buying treasury stock. Now, how many of you have 3 and 4 finished? We just did 4. How many of you have 3 and 4? All right, you have 3 and 4. That's going to be your bonus on the next day. 3 and 4. Got both of them tested. Okay, that's 5 more bonus on the next day. Dylan, you have Mario? No. No. No, no, it's not.
but then,
No, it's not.
so was it?
Let's watch the video. You got both of them? Anybody else got from 3 and 4? I got. Okay, wait, 4. All right, 4 people out of about 16, that's 25%, had their homework. Mr. Steve said he had a class the other day of 20 and 1 person had their homework. So I'm not going to preach to you. I'm not going to bitch at you, pour at you. Attendance helps your grade, helps your test, read the chapter. But doing your homework's almost a must, okay? If you don't do your homework on chapter 13 and 14, you might as well take a 20 on your next test and let it go at that. Because that's what you're going to make. If you don't practice this homework, I'm going to predict a lot of 20s and 30s. All right. But that's up to you. Okay. Now, number 3, we're not taking a ton of time on. We've done these entries now over and over. Debit, cash, credit, common stock, paid in capital. Debit, cash, credit, preferred, paid in capital. Buy treasury stock, credit, cash. Sell treasury stock and sell it for more than you paid for it. We sold it for 13, we paid 10, paid in capital 240. And then we're gonna sell more treasury stock for $9. We're gonna take a loss. We're gonna take it out of paid in capital we already had. Then we're gonna give a cash dividend, pay them. All right. Folks, if you can do those 4 problems, all right, buying treasury stock, selling treasury stock, selling preferred common, giving out a cash dividend. Now, you got pretty well made, except for a stockholders' equity section. And we haven't practiced that, so it was not a good problem even. All right, on page 667, now some of you had problem 4 finished. Did you do part 4? Did Alexander, did you do number 4, a stockholders' equity section? Okay, good. So some people have practiced the stockholder equity. I encourage all of you to do problem 4 from beginning to end and do the stockholders' equity section for practice. All right, we'll get back and review a stockholders' equity section before the test, okay? All right, now corporations finance with long-term debt by issuing bonds and notes payable. Now we're going to have to be able to calculate interest on bonds. Now, if you have your book, turn to the present value table. See if the back of your book has present value tables, present and future value. They should have, you should have an appendix. Do you not have an appendix with those in there?
Yeah, it's appendix A.
What?
It's appendix A.
Appendix A. Have you found appendix A? Okay, there you go. What is the heading of that appendix? I know. They've all got it. Okay. This one is present value, compound interest due. All right. This is present value. All right. Now I want you to look at those 2 tables. Now you're going to get 4 tables. All right. Never be the county for the county measure. You'll get 4 tables. Future value of annuity, present value of annuity. All right. Let's look at past value. You know, we don't have any older people here but me, but maybe you remember someday. How much is a postage stamp today? That's the present value of a postage stamp. What is it today?
50.
How much?
53.
Anybody remember it cheaper? Anybody remember a postage stamp cheaper? How much?
Like 40 cents.
All right. The first letter I mailed, the postage stamp was 3 cents. All right, what do you pay for a bottle of soda or whatever right now?
$1.
It's $1.80. Everybody saying a lot cheaper. Not counting, I'm going to Walmart. Where you buy? All right, what do you pay for a movie ticket now? $10? So Kendrick, if you took a female out on a date, what does it cost to take a female out on a date?
Where to the movies?
Take her to the movies and take her out to eat.
That's good. Yeah, about 80, I'll say.
About 80?
Yeah, that's a good 80.
Even if you take her to McDonald's?
You can't take a girl to McDonald's.
I could. That's a lot of money, isn't it? Okay, price value, I'm gonna mention this, I'm gonna let price value go. Back when I was Kendrick's age, I could take a girlfriend to a movie, I'd have $5 in my wallet. First off, I would get 6-gallon gas for $2.
I wish.
That left me,
I'd be on the road all day.
Kendrick had left me $3, gas was 33 cents a gallon. I had $3, take it to the movies. 25 cents a ticket, that's 50 cents, so that's $2.50. I'd buy her popcorn and, Coke, 25 cents. I still had 2.25 left. So then I would take her to a drive-in restaurant, so we had back then, and she might order a Coke, hamburger. I do the same thing, Coke and hamburger, and even fries, $1. And I would take home $1 and something to change. All right, so that's past value. And what you pay for a movie ticket today is present value. But present value changes, don't it? You see, I predicted in a marketplace a long time ago that would be buying bottled water. And it came to pass, you know. And you know, you can get this water sand for 20 cents a bottle. Well, if you stop at a city market, you pay as high as $1.99, $89, $79, right? This comes from Kroger, okay? But I predicted that we would be buying bottled water because we as citizens will pollute the air and the streams and the land too much. When I was growing up, you could go out in any mountain and drink out of any stream, it's that clean. Now you're afraid to. All right? One other thing I predicted that hadn't happened that much, I predicted that all of our food and everything that we bought would be in packages that would be cooked down or you could eat the package. All right? That hasn't happened too much. Not happened too much. That will cut down land pollution. Everything will go now. Okay? But anyhow, now, future value, anybody in here can be a millionaire by future value. You get down here and go to work and invest $2,000 a year into an IRA, and you work 40 years, you'll be a millionaire. You need that IRA in there and put in $2,000 every year. 2,000 for 40 years, you put in $80,000 of your own money. But it grew and grew and grew. With compound interest, then you have to put in the stock market to be a millionaire. Now, present value. All right. Now, Kelly, if you were married, this is hypothetical, and you were going to go through a divorce, okay? And time your children got 18 and started college, your ex-husband has to give you $100,000. That's 10 years from now. 10 years from now, he has to give you $100,000. What would you take today to settle for that $100,000? When it goes to Appendix A, first off, what if you are married? You got kids? I mean, yes, I'm more going to be a better example. All right. So, you divorce Mr. McDonald. All right. And he has to give you $100,000 10 years from now for your kid. But he wants to settle today, 10 years early. Would you take 90 today and settle with him? Would you take 80,000 today and settle with him? Right. But now this, let's say this 100,000 is one G, let's say it's signed in a trust fund or something, it will be that. Would you take 70 and settle today? Take 70,000 today? You would? That getting close? Would you take 60 today? Right now, look at your present value table. Let's say the going interest rate is 7%. You can get 7% on your investment in different places, maybe not at a bank. And let's go down to 10 years. What is that decimal place? Go to 7% for 10 years. What is that decimal? Decimal what? Multiply that by 100,000. That is the present value. 10 years at 7%. You're not going to look or do something. All right. You have those tables. You have all that. Or not. Anyway. I'm kidding. Never seen her eyes so big. Yeah. All right, cut those tables. All right, when you multiply, what is the present value of that $100,000? How much? You would take that 50,800, settle with him today, and you would invest it 7%, 10 years, you'd have 100,000. Or you could invest it for more, and so forth, and maybe be worth 150,000 10 years. So a lot of people don't know to take deals like that. But I've had tax clients that I had to do those suggestions for. One guy divorced his wife, he had to care so much, and I asked him what would she take today, and said, look, found the right amount that I told him about. She took it, he got rid of it completely. Okay, all right. So that is a bond. Now I want you to look at the next table. Table 2, turn a page and see if that's the future value of an annuity. Now you'll be using these tables along with chapter 14. Now, trying to get you to understand how they get the present value of a bond or something. We'll work some of the tables later. Now, if you're on that next table, an annuity is an income stream. It's like life insurance payments, what have you. Now, that one we just looked at on present value. Now, if you won the lottery and they paid you $10,000 a year for 10 years, it works the same way. They have to find the present value. Now, Morgan has a different situation, okay? She divorced her husband, and he's going to give her $10,000 a year. The going rate of interest is 7%, and he's going to give her that for 10 years. Now, how much is that $10,000 a year worth? So go to table 2, look up 7% for 10 years. We know she's going to get $100,000, but is that real money? Multiplied by one payment, which is 10,000. How much is that? $70,000. $70,236. All right. So that 10,000 a year that Morgan's gonna get is only worth 70,000. Now, you know, prices change. That's why we have present future value tables. And a lot of your mortgage payments are based on tables like this. Life insurance payouts, the lottery and so forth, based on this. So, first car I bought a brand new Ford. Cost me $2,500. Okay? And now you buy a brand new anything, unless it's a little disposable car. They used to make those U-Bills, I call them disposable cars. It is, it. They didn't last.
People actually drive with still.
Do they? Your country, are you from? Now, Serbia used to be part of Yugoslavia, right?
Yeah, without cars manufactured.
Oh, okay.
The worst car ever made.
All right. But all I'm saying now, what would be the average price of a new car? No.
Nobody used one, like, a cheap one,
It depends on what you get. You probably could get, you know, one of those little bitty cranked up ones for 15,000. Nothing on it. All right, so prices change. We know that. And that's what is present value table. So I want to introduce you to them today because we'll be using them later. Okay? But right now, let's get back to short-term debt. We've covered that. We're going to cover long-term debts and bonds. All right? A bond is like a note. A bond is really, they don't have it here, but a bond is really if I can spell it, contract. All right? One of the main factors that influence the decision to issue debt. Now, bonds are debt. Stock is equity. And the less shares of stock you have, the better your EPS will be. All right, let's look at these three different plans here, if you can see them. We're going to issue everything with common stock, no bonds. All right, then common stock, you'll be paying $1.20 a share with all these shares issued. Now over here, you're going to pay 50% in stock, and you're going to do, I don't know how many, I guess what you're going to do here, preferred stock. You're going to do the rest in preferred stock. And you're going to get $1.50 a share because there's less common shares. But if you issue bonds, you only have $1 million worth of stock, you get $2.48 a share. So corporations have to decide, do I want to sell bonds? Do I want to sell stock? Now, one thing about bonds, the interest on a bond is deductible. All right? Interest on bonds would be a deductible business expense, where dividends are not. All right, we'll look at those plans later. All right, the face amount of a bond is always 1,000. All right, now I'm going to give you some quotes. On New York Stock Exchange today, a bond may be quoted at 98. If that bond is quoted at 98, that means it's selling at 98%. It's selling at a discount, and we will have discounts and premiums. Well, that bond is quoted at 98, it will sell for $980. If that bond is quoted for 101, it will sell for $1,010. I'm multiplying in my mind 1,000 times 101%. So Now that you're experts at that, let's say a bond is quoted at 92.5. Anybody, what am I going to buy or sell that bond for? 901? Exactly. You can always change that to a decimal, and you can change it further by decimal 925. All right. Now, what if that bond is selling for 95 1/4? What will I sell that bond for?
952.
950 what? That looks correct. Change that 95, and you will be asked this in your chapter. Now, what if a bond is selling for 100? You'll sell it for 1,000, won't you? Now, what if a bond is selling for 105?
1,050.
What?
1,050.
All right, that'd be correct. Now, these bonds are called indentures, which is just a contract, but they're quoted in $1,000. These are corporate bonds. They're not government bonds that we're talking about. I don't like serial bonds, but we'll look at them briefly. They mature over different dates. All right, when a corporation issues bonds, the proceeds depends on the face amount of the bonds, the interest rate, market rate, and so forth can make a difference. Now, bonds pay interest semi-annual. If I have $100,000 worth of bonds and they're paying 8% semi-annual, then the interest on that bond semi-annual calculated should be $4,000. Because if it's paying 8% annual, then it's got to be 4% semi-annual, don't it? And 4% of 100,000 would be 4,000. And you debit interest expense and credit interest payable when you have interest on a bond, or debit interest expense and credit cash. But now here is the gimmick though. The contract rate don't always agree with the market rate. And that's when we have to find an effective rate of interest. You see, you keep seeing the 1,000, but we'll get back to that later. Settlement phase, there's no problem. If we sell a bond for 950, that means we sold it at a $50 discount. If we sell it for 1,050, that means we sold it for a premium. All right, this bond we're going to sell for how much? Quoted at 98, we're going to sell it for what? All right, bond selling at 109, we'll sell for. Okay, that's just reviewing what I've already told you. All right, when we sell bonds, we simply debit cash and credit bonds payable. And when we pay interest, we debit interest expense and credit cash. So what is your big assignment for Tuesday? Read this chapter well. Have your sin gauge on chapter 13 finished, hopefully by Tuesday. Finish sin gauge by Tuesday. Read chapter 14 by Tuesday. If you got any extra time, start sin gauge for chapter 14. Start some of these exercises in chapter 14. All right, see you then. All right, there's 4 cupcakes left. I hope there's none left. Time you all leave the classroom.
I'll take extra.
You know, there's and stuff downstairs.
Go away.
Now, remember what Mr. Arnold told you about going down at 4 o'clock today.
I don't know if there's. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. I know people check out a little too hard.
So I got that message. How much?